Hey everyone, and welcome to our full video review for the ASUS GL502. To start things off, we need to go over the specs of the device, so we'll kick it off with the CPU, which is the i7-7700HQ processor. The GPU inside is the GTX 1070 with 8GB of GDDR5 RAM. Memory included is 16GB of DDR4. Storage inside is a 128GB M.2 SSD and a 1TB 5400 RPM hard disk drive. For connectivity, there's built-in gigabit Ethernet LAN, integrated 802.11a, G, and N, wireless LAN, plus Bluetooth 4.0. Powering the device is a 4-cell smart lithium-ion battery pack rated at 62 watt-hours, and it comes with a 180 watt AC power adapter. There's a built-in HD web camera above the 15.6-inch FHD matte type 120Hz 1920 by 1080 resolution screen with G-Sync. Taking a look at the inner workings of the laptop, we're going to start down here at the very front. We have the battery coming across the bottom of the device, fairly large, but gives you good battery life if you are not plugged into a wall socket. So you have that there. We have the hard disk drive located to the left of it. You could upgrade this to a solid state drive if you wanted faster speeds, or if you just wanted more storage, we have upgradable options available for this slot right here. The M.2 is over here on the left-hand side. Obviously, you could upgrade this as well if you wanted larger sizes or maybe faster speeds. And then you have your wireless cards just right underneath this little flap. That's where the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is located. You have 2 sticks of RAM right here. These could be upgraded if you're looking for larger capacities of RAM. And then we have 2 fans that are up at the top. They both exit their exhaust heat straight out the very back of the device. They have 2 copper tubes that they do kind of share, both going across the GPU and the CPU, and there's a third little tube that comes across here as well to help disperse some of that heat generated by the laptop. On the left-hand side of the device is an Ethernet port, mini display port, HDMI port, USB 3.0 port, and a USB 3.1 Type-C Generation 2 port. On the right-hand side is a headphone and microphone combo jack, 2 more USB 3.0 ports, a 3-in-1 card reader, and the Kensington lock. The keyboard on the 502 is a tactile anti-ghosting scissor switch style keyboard with a 1.6mm travel distance for fast keystrokes. The anti-ghosting function provides 30 key rollover and is backlit by red lighting that can be adjusted either fully off or to low, medium, and high settings for brightness. The touchpad is an all-in-one unit on the 502 with the right and left clicks built into the bottom of it. The touchpad does retain its touch capabilities in the lower section where the buttons are, instead of a typical dead zone like other laptops. The clicks on the 502 are fairly light to the touch, and an occasional misclick can happen further up on the face of the touchpad itself. The 502 is also all silver on this model, and I think it looks great, and it also helps relieve fingerprints where black models typically show them. Included in the box with the 502 is a user guide, warranty information, and a cable tie, and also the included power cables. The weight of the laptop by itself is around 5.6 pounds, and if you're going to be taking the device on the go and want to bring along the included power cables, the total weight together would be about 7.4 pounds. When it comes to battery life of the device, if you have everything set to about 50% and battery saver mode on, if you're doing basic tasks, you can expect around 3.5 hours of use time. Moving on to our decibel reader tests, we first took readings away from the laptop, maybe where you'd be sitting, and had readings of around 44 decibels. We moved it up to the front of the device and had readings of 52. And then finally, coming around to the back side of the device where the fans exit their exhaust heat, we had readings of around 60 decibels. When it comes to heat buildup for the laptop while playing games, you can see that heat does start to rise in the very center of the laptop around J and K, but everything stays cool by W, A, S, and D. And then coming around to the backside of the laptop, you can see where the fans disperse the heat from the inside of the laptop through those 2 vents, both on the left and right hand side, away from the user. Moving on to our benchmark tests, we started things off with Firestrike, which scored 13,065, which is better than 82% of all devices to run this test. Our second test was with Cinebench. We did OpenGL first and had readings of 103 FPS. And for the processor's CB score, we scored 736. You can see how it stacks up on the left-hand side of the screen. On to our real-world testing. We first started things off with Grand Theft Auto 5 on very high with no MSAA and MSAA at ×2 and ×4. We had readings of 101, 97, and 90 FPS. The temperature of the GPU while testing was at 77 degrees Celsius, and the CPU was at 82 degrees Celsius. Next, we ran Rise of the Tomb Raider on very high with FXAA, SMAA, and SSAA at ×2. We had readings of 102, 93, and 70 FPS. The GPU's temperature was at 80 degrees Celsius and the CPU was at 82 degrees. Our third test was with Dirt Rally on Ultra with MSAA at ×2, 4, and 8. We had readings of 123, 119, and 108 FPS. Temperature of the GPU was at 80 degrees Celsius and the CPU was at 82. And our final test was with Hitman. We've tested it on medium, high, and on ultra and had readings of 93, 92, and 86 FPS. The GPU's temperature was at 79 and the CPU's temperature was at 83. Overall, the 502 does get a little bit warm while playing games, but that's to be expected with its very slim design. If you're looking to put a personal touch on your machine, be sure to check out our extensive customization options before checkout, including upgrades available to RAM, storage, cooling, overclocking, custom paint, hydro and graphic wraps, laser etching, and much, much more. If you'd like to take a closer look at any of the specific BIOS menu screens, make sure that you pause the video on any of the ones you'd like to view closer. If not, be sure to check out our product link in the description or leave any comments down below if you have questions for us here at Exotic PC. I've been Andrew saying thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe for future product overviews and reviews.